Grandmaster Rene Tongson, thank you for joining us today. Let's start out by giving us a little about your background, how you got started in the martial arts.
Oh, yes. Before that, may I thank the FMA Pulse for inviting me here. This is an honor and privilege for me and for the Abaniko Tres Puntas Classical Arnis International Federation. So thank
It's an
you
honor
very
to have you,
much.
Jim.
So, well, actually, I was born in Tondo, Manila. That's a little bit part of the Chinatown in Manila. Yes, and after my primary school, my parents went back to Hinigaran, Negros Occidental. That's in the Visayas. They were actually natives of that town there. Hinigaran is the hometown of the famous Presas family, the founders of modern Arnis. Yes, I started my baston. Yes, we call it baston in Negros in Ilonggoland. Um, I started there in 1966 at the backyard of the Presas family, and my first lesson is classical Arnis. Yes, this uh, Espada Daga Abaniko Palis. That is the style of the father of the Presas brothers, Jose Presas Bunco, Jose Bunco Presas. So, uh, and then from there, after graduation from secondary school, I was sent by my parents to Manila. Yes, Manila is about 1 hour by jet by airplane from the Visayas. So I went to the University of Manila to continue my education. I graduated after 5 years. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in industrial engineering, and then I continued my studies and took my master's degree in business administration and so on. So from there, in Manila, I joined the Presas uh, martial arts, the modern Arnis. I continued under Grandmaster Ernesto Presas. We call it the Arjuken, Arnis Judo Kendo Karate Association. It's the mother organization before of Ernesto Presas, before Combatan was founded. Yes. So I stayed there for more than 30 years with Grandmaster Ernesto. And it was really there that I took a lot of trainings. I was immersed there. Actually, I was immersed there in modern Arnis. Yes, that was the start in 1974. 1974. And then after that, during my stay there, I happened to be introduced to Grandmaster Mateo D. Estolloso, the grand old man of classical Arnis Abaniko Tres Puntas, who happens to be a very close friend of Grandmaster Ernesto Presas. So I started also training under him with authority from Grandmaster Ernesto, and the rest is history. Yes.
So, GM Rene, we always like to hear stories about where the Grandmasters came from the Philippines and what it was like growing up. You said you were from Tondo originally, correct?
Yes, but I was a baby at the time in
Okay,
Tondo.
because we have a friend who's from Tondo and we've heard stories
We've
about
heard about
Tondo.
Tondo.
So did that turn you into a fighter?
Or was Tondo the
Yeah.
same back then as it is
No,
now?
not anymore. Not anymore. It's a very progressive area now. Yes, that used to be a gangland.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
when you say Tondo, some people doesn't want to cross there.
Mhm.
Yes, that's something like our friends in the US. Please pardon me. It's our Bronx. Yes,
Mhm.
something like that.
Our south side.
Everything is there.
Yeah.
Yes. Now it's a very progressive area. There's still some areas, but uh, people probably we call it in time everyone matured. Yes, everyone matured.
I mean, when you started your martial arts training, was the Filipino martial arts your first choice? And was it hard to find? Because the thing that me and Mike, uh, what we learned about Filipino martial arts is that it was hard to find in the Philippines as well.
During those times, in 1966, my first love actually is baston. We call it Arnis later on. Uh, it's my first choice. Yes. And the other side of the training actually there is we have karate. Some people are doing karate. Yes. Because one of my seniors, Cristina Vasquez, who is a relative, a very close relative of the Presas family, is very good in karate. And I don't know, but it's not on me. But later on, of course, I joined the karate group also in Manila. But the Filipino martial arts, baston, Arnis, is my first love.
Okay. So like with all the different styles of Filipino martial arts, what is Abaniko Tres Puntas and what makes its methods and philosophy different from other Filipino martial arts?
Well, Abaniko Tres Puntas was developed by Grandmaster Mateo D. Estolloso. We call him Lolo, grandfather. He's from Kulasi town in the province of Antique, Panay Island. Kulasi is another home of native Dumog here in the Philippines. And also they make famous talibongs there, the talibong blades. Abanico Tres Puntas is a classical system. Abanico is one of the most common styles in the Visayas area, especially in the Ilonggo land. It's a classical system. And Tres Puntas is only one of those abanicos. There are so many types of abanicos. The abanico de cuerdas, La Punti de Abanico, Abanico Chuchada, lots of them. And Tres Puntas is only one of them. It's a classical system which is Panay Daga based, yes. And obviously it's blade based, yes. It's a blade system.
Rene, for the viewers not familiar with Abaniko Tres Puntos, what is Abaniko?
Abanico, of course, obviously it's
The fan.
It's a fan, yes. And Abanico is, like I said, is one of the most common styles in the Visayas area. And Tres Puntas and Abanico, because according to Grandmaster Estolloso, he has two teachers. Yes, one is Abanico, and the other one is Tres Puntas. So he studied both under two teachers, and he combined them.
Right.
Yes, he put them together and come up with the Abanico Tres Puntas. Yes, this comes in Abanico comes in a corto, medio, and largo. So whatever the situation is, and it has a very unique footwork, very unique. And in Abanico Tres Puntas, we are very, very particular with our footwork. Yes, it took me many weeks. Yes, I'm starting to complain because when I started training under Grandmaster Estolloso, all I do is every day 1 hour, 1 hour and a half footwork, forward, backward, side, forward, backwards, and then combine, turn around. It's all footwork. Yes, footwork low, footwork medium high, and footwork high, and so on, and combine them and so on. I was about to complain. Yes, because I said, and there's nothing I learned. It's all footwork. It's all footwork. And then one day, politely I asked him, Lolo, yeah, my grandfather, why is it all just footwork and footwork and footwork? Yes, he said, just do it. It will bring you to places someday. Yes, so it's wisdom, wisdom. So cutting history, fast forward, I am all over the world. Yes, Abaniko Tres Puntas is all over the world now.
What kind of footwork is that, GM? Because a lot of FMAs use the triangle footwork, and is it similar to
Yeah,
that?
yeah, what you see, the common asterisk. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you go left, right, forward, half left, half right, half left, backward, half left, right, forward, and so on. You see, but we have the so-called slides. Yes, so one step, and then we have the slide, backward, and so on. And some people, I have a Japanese friend. When he saw it in our high stance, he said, "Oh, that looks like also a kendo footwork."
Mm.
I said yes, yes. Because I saw this also in kendo. Yes, because actually it did not. Before I started to study kendo, I did kendo. I did kendo for a long time, very long time. It has no influence in my footwork because before I did kendo, we are already doing it. Yes, and I never heard about kendo when I started Abaniko Tres Puntas. I never heard about it. It's only later on when I met a Japanese friend that I started to do kendo, also in the gym of Grandmaster Ernesto Presas. Yes, Ernesto Presas is he founded the Philippine Kendo Association in the Philippines, and he's a very good kendo. He's a very good kendo.
Okay. Was there a lot of techniques that you pulled out from kendo that you use in your own system?
Oh, actually, when we say Abanico Tres Puntas, it's purely Abanico Tres Puntas. Yes, I never attempted to modify the original version. Never. Yes. It is. Some people say, "Is that art pure?" I said, "There is no pure art, as far as I know, because Abanico Tres Puntas is highly influenced by Spanish fencing.
Mhm.
Yes, even the name is Spanish. Abanico Tres Puntas. Yes,
So when you were doing kendo, did you take your training from Abaniko Tres Puntas, and did it leak into your kendo training?
they have to be separated always. Yes, I make sure that it does not influence here, and it does not mix. Yes, like I said, we stayed in the original version even until today. Until today, um, and then later on, I studied in 1974. I started modern Arnis. Yes, and these are two extreme systems, classical and hybrid. Yes, so there is difficulty when the muscle memory would always bring you in mixing the two. But I think because of the basics, yes, because of the basics in Abanico Tres Puntas, the first tendency of the muscle memory is to stay within. I am right now also the concurrent chairman of the International Modern Arnis Federation of the Philippines. Yes, it's Modern Arnis. And same time, I'm the international chief instructor and caretaker of Abaniko Tres Puntas. And these two things and these two systems, both extreme, does not mix. So when I'm in Modern Arnis, it's totally Modern Arnis. Yes, I only talk about Modern Arnis. I do not mention or mix Abanico Tres Puntas and vice versa. And also with Abanico Tres Puntas, there is no Modern Arnis there. So this is really difficult to put the boundary, but you see, if you get used to it, you can do it. You can do it.
So no halo halo.
No.
No halo halo.
No, no, because you see, like I said, I am a caretaker of Abaniko Tres Puntas because there's a story there. There's a story. There is 9 of us selected students of the grand old man, Mateo D. Estolloso. He's very selective. It's not an open class. He only select his students, and I'm very lucky to be one of them. So we started. I think we are 9 that time. As we go along, um, and then one day he said, "Everyone come here. Everyone sit down." And then he said, "I'm getting older." Yes, and that time he was already somewhere like more than 80 years old. Yes, and he said, I'm not getting younger." Then he said, "Listen, everyone, I would like to announce that I am leaving Abaniko Tres Puntas to Rene." So I look at him and said, "Lolo, I don't think I am the right one." He said, "I did not say you are the right one. I just say I'm going to just leave it to you. So take care of it." See? So that was, I was stunned because he said, I did not say you are the right one. So that was something like a click in my mind that I have to be the right one in the future. I must be. See? So as as uh, as we continued, he said, "Take care of Abaniko Tres Puntas." So there are some people. They asked me, "You are the founder of Abaniko Tres Puntas." I said, "No, I am the caretaker," because he said, "Take care of Abaniko Tres Puntas." So from that keyword, I made sure that the original version, as taught by him, is preserved, because he said, "Take care of Abaniko Tres Puntas." So that word alone, it means a lot of interpretation. Do not mix, do not dilute, and so on. And I make sure that it is protected. That's why we are also very selective in bringing in people to the organization. We have the so-called prerequisites, yes, to bring in people.
Can you share some of the
Yeah.
prerequisites?
Well, number one, the prerequisite, of course, is you do not just come in and tell me that you want to join us. No. Number one, of course, is we don't fill up forms. We don't make forms and submit to us something like an application form. No, we don't have it at the moment, none. But we will have it in the future because we plan to do that. The number one prerequisite, of course, is my gut feel is very strong. Yes, I
That's
can
important.
see your interest. Yes, I can see your interest. You don't come here and just tell, "I want to join you." Yes, you can come, you can train, and part of the prerequisite is, of course, you must undergo the basics. Yes, we have 3 modules that you must undergo: affiliation or whatever, individual membership, organization affiliation, and so on. The head person must undergo the three basic the basic modules. Yes, and that is the number one. And as you go along, immersion is we feel the immersion that you are starting to be in. Yes.
So do you
And
have like a trial period? Even though a student might make the prerequisites, do you have a trial period in case?
It's not written, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not written, but it's there. Yes, we will not tell you to leave, but the so-called the supervising instructor where you are training will start not inviting you to join them.
So subtly.
We don't tell people you go. You are now not allowed to come here. You see the Filipino culture again.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Filipinos are, this culture is something like they are a little bit shy to be frank with people and tell do not come anymore. We cannot do that.
Yeah.
But we don't hurt people. We do it slowly. Yes, and hopefully, the aspirant makes up. Yes, he makes up because number one is the attitude inside during training is we are very particular on that. Yes, we have unwritten rules inside. We have norms, and it's being followed. It's unwritten, being followed.
Well, because like we've heard that tradition before, like when the Filipino martial arts first made its way here to America, that no one to the general public was allowed to train. You had to have like a reference to bring in. No one. It
You
wasn't
can't just show up at their doorstep.
No, and the thing is, it's like because they have to make sure that you were trustworthy and you weren't crazy. So we've heard similar stories like that.
Well, actually, like I said, it's not written in Abaniko Tres Puntas, but it's part of that practice actually. Yes, you don't just come in and so on. And some people some of our students and some of the instructors they invite people when they say, "Oh, I would like to join your organization." So something like they sponsor you in, they bring you in. Yes, but of course, while there are some reference or some people who brought you in, you still undergo the normal prerequisites. Oh, by the way, training in Abanico Tres Puntas is free. We have no tuitions. No tuitions.
At all.
Yes, no tuitions. I have more than today. Even during the pandemic time, I still maintain about 150 plus students, regular students. Yes, we provide them with equipment. They have equipment. The venue is free. Everything is free.
How do you get the funding to do that, GM?
Yeah,
Is that coming out of your pocket?
A portion of yes, because I I travel worldwide regularly. I do seminars and camps abroad, and part of my how do you call this honorarium, my honoraria goes to maintenance of the training here in the Philippines. I of course in the Philippines I do not charge. No, it's free always when I teach here. I am invited by some events to teach there for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I only charge them with coffee. Yes. Yes, we said, "Oh, GM Rene, can we invite you? We have a small camp and so on. It's a Filipino camp, a small seminar and so on. Can we invite you to share?" I always oblige. Yes, I make sure that I will be there. And they asked me, "What is our obligation?" I said, "Prepare me a good cup of coffee." And yes, so I always charge them a cup of coffee. It means it's free. Yes, I do not charge here in the Philippines. Of course, unless it's unorganized and if they collect money, yes. So it's another way. It's another thing. Yes. Or if they collect money, I ask them to donate to my federation. Yes, because of course we are in dire need of funds.
Right.
I'm maintaining a lot of young kids as young as 7 years old. Yes, up to adults. I maintain it. I have 14 volunteer instructors. Yes, they're also teaching for free.
Wow.
Yes, the venue is free. Equipment is free, and in fact, right now we are doing a raffle in other forum. They are doing a raffle, and I'm very happy about their support. And they donated some equipment to us because they saw the program. We have the last 7 years. I have this grassroots youth program. Yes. For the development of FMA and the young people.
I was going to ask GM, what are your thoughts on, because a lot of the youth, they're more into the MMA, Muay Thai, that kind of thing, karate, boxing. How is the youth when it comes to FMA, in your opinion, in their interest levels?
10, 15 years ago, the interest for Filipino martial art, directly say Arnis or Eskrima, is not so intense. It's low. Low, not very low. It's low. But as the years go on, with government starting to get noisy, the private sector and non-government organizations like us are starting to promote it. So awareness started to go up. Obviously, foreign martial arts here are really popular.
Right.
Yes. Especially TKD. Yes. Yeah, Taekwondo, karate started to mellow down. Judo started to mellow down. And boxing went up. Boxing went up because, the influence of
Manny
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yes. Everything here stops. The clock stops here when Manny Pacquiao is fighting.
Yeah, I heard even
no traffic.
No theft,
no criminals.
No criminals.
No crimes, street crimes, no everything. That is true. No crimes in the street. Everything stops. And it actually influenced a lot of Filipinos to go boxing. And then we have a lot of MMA schools here. Yes, and then jiu-jitsu school started to also open, and they started to combine this with boxing, and then slowly they saw the need to open also classes for Filipino martial arts. Yes, so because they have to maintain their school,
right?
They have to pay their bills, electricity, and so on. So you cannot just focus in one. So they started to cater with they added menus in the list. So Filipino martial started to go up. And then comes the enactment of Republic Act 9850, declaring Arnis as national sport and martial art of the Philippines, authored by Senator Zubiri. That's right. And then the Philippine Sports Commission also opened the Batang Pinoy, or the Youth Games, wherein Arnis is one of the main events, main sports. The Department of Education also came up with the Palarong Pambansa, or the National Games, in school students. So and so on. So the grassroots in the school level and out of school under the Philippine Sports Commission has put together a big program, and all year round there are competitions all year round. And then with the organization of a National Sport Association, today we have the PEKAF in the Philippines under the Philippine Olympic Committee. We have this program, competitions left and right. Even today, we have online competitions, forms competition, anyo, virtual competition. So we don't stop, and started to climb. Yes, the interest has spiked up.
Do you find that they're finding more pride in Philippine martial arts now, whereas before it was kind of considered, not cool? Lowly
martial art. But now, no. People are starting to ask for where do we train? We are interested and so on.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
because of they started to realize that the Filipino martial arts is a lot of system. A lot of system teaches like when you say Filipino martial art, Arnis, it's a complete system. It's something like that.
Right.
Yes. So a lot of people go there and they start to cross train. Boxers start to cross train. MMAs start to cross train. Jiu-jitsu people start to cross train, and vice versa.
Right.
Vice
I mean,
versa.
that's the beauty of FMA because it's a complementary art also.
It mixes well.
Even if you're studying BJJ or MMA, you could always take components of FMA and add it to your system without it really affecting your current, fighting style or anything like that.
Exactly, because I saw a lot of jiu-jitsu people cross training. Yes, in FMA, and there are more actually that cross to Filipino martial art than Filipino martial art crossing to them. Yes, there are more. I can see it here in the Philippines. I'm talking in the Philippines, and it's gaining momentum. Now it's no longer a low class or a lowly martial art.
I wonder if also because it's been used a lot in the choreography for Hollywood movies, maybe that also helped. You know what I mean? Because a lot of major action films are using FMA now. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Worldwide, the international movie choreography now started to use Filipino martial arts. Even without telling it's Filipino martial arts, obviously.
Of course.
Yes, FMAers like us would immediately recognize it. Oh,
Right.
wow, that's an Abaniko. Yes. Oh, that's a Sunkite. You see, it's a Tuchada. Something like that. And it's good, and I am happy to see it.
Yeah.
Because I would say a hardcore FMAer like me, yes, is very proud to see it in choreographies in movies. I'm very proud when I see it.
Yeah. Same with us.
You see, I have to accept it. I have to say it. I'm a hardcore FMAer. Yes. Say none ill thing about FMA. You hurt me. Yes, you hurt my feeling if you say true or not. People when speak ill of FMA, I easily get hurt. That's my weakest point. Yes, even it's true or not true, it hurts my feeling. So because of probably they 52 years now. I am 52 years now in this Filipino martial art.
Wow.
Yeah, 52 years is not. It's more than the age of young people, probably like you. Yes, I've been there for a long time, and it's in my skin. It's in my skin, and it's a way of life. It's our life.
Which kind of like this question just popped up. So like, have you ever been approached by like the trolls that'll say like, "Oh, that won't work," or have you been like challenged where it's like that stuff doesn't work? And how do you deal with it?
Oh well, number one is I have a very good pardon me for my word. I'm a very diplomatic person. Yes. While I separate politics with my martial arts, but when there are two or more people, politics comes in, and I made sure that I do positive politics, and I use politics to maintain diplomacy. Yes, and that's the reason why I was able to grow the organization, because we maintain a portion of diplomacy. And when people start to talk about challenging FMA or challenging Arnis, for the start, I would of course start to talk and how to feel to counter it. Yes, but at the end of the discussion, they became my friends, and I make sure that I maintain the diplomacy. Yes, I am trying to be diplomatic always, but when it's too much, I go to your private message. Yes, I try to find a way to contact you directly, just you and me, and I will talk you over there and apologize if I hurt you, and at the same time I will always request and ask, please don't do that privately. So at the end of the day, and going back to the open in social media, they stop. Yes, and actually some results to good praises. Yes, they started to praise us and say, oh, that group, Jen Rene is nice person and so on. I go to them privately. That's why we cannot go away with politics. We cannot, because we need diplomacy, and diplomacy is part of politics, and that is where I tried to, like, not perfect, but I make sure that diplomacy is always there, and I maintain it.
Jim, is it okay if we talk about modern Arnis a little bit?
Yes, sure, yes.
So
yes.
you studied modern Arnis before Abaniko Tres Puntas, correct?
Yes, I started first with Espada y Daga, Abaniko, Palis in Hinigaran in 1966, directly under Grandmaster Roberto Presas, the youngest of the Presas brothers.
Okay.
Yes, and then in 1974, when I went to Manila, I started modern Arnis under Grandmaster Ernesto Presas. Yes, and then from there, I started from the very basic. Yes, and so on. It is part of my martial art discipline, modern Arnis, and I learn a lot of things inside modern Arnis. I started to appreciate it in 1974, and so on. And that's why even until today, I still have modern Arnis in me. Like I said, I mentioned a few minutes ago, I chair I'm the chairman of the board of trustees of the International Modern Arnis Federation of the Philippines. This is the mother organization, homeland organization of Professor Remy Presas. Yes, IMAFP. It's a big organization, very structured.
Right.
Yes.
Modern Arnis is probably one of the biggest FMA organizations, right, in the world.
Yes, one of them. Yes, not really the biggest.
Right,
one of the biggest. We have after the death of Professor Remy. Yes, the usual problem when the head passed away, the general started to fight.
The infighting.
Yes, but slowly, again going back to the diplomacy, we took the lead to slowly put them together. Yes, so now those generals are actually now connecting directly to IMAFP in the Philippines. Yes, and again using diplomacy, trying to put people together, because when you have 1, 2, or 3 or 10 generals in one table, yes, everyone will always make sure that they are on top.
Right.
Yes, because there is no succession policy when Grandmaster Rene Presas died. Yes, there is no clear-cut policy on who's next. Yes, there is no succession policy, And that is where Abaniko Tres Puntas learn from the mistakes of our teachers. Yes. It is very clear in the manuals of the Abaniko Tres Puntas, whatever happens to Grandmaster Rene Tongson, the succession policy is very, very clear. Yes. Immediately, this is the first step, and this is the second step, and this is the third step. So there will be no infighting inside. The succession policy is very clear. The same that happened in the group and the organization of Grandmaster Ernesto. Yes. When he passed away, there was scrambling inside the organization. But again, we directly, I would say, with my influence, yes, because I was with Grandmaster Ernesto for a long, long time. Yes, more than 25, I think, or close to 30 years. So I know how he started the combatant. So I started to put them together. Now combatant is a very solid organization. Now, today, there was a time when combatant and the Abanik, the modern Arnis group of Remy Presas does not see eye to eye. Yes, and we were able to put them together. So it's now a solid group. Now we call it the Presas Arnis Legacy. There is no barriers anymore. No fence that separates the two. So there is no more, I'm combatant, no, I am modern Arnis. No, we don't have it anymore. We were able to put them together under one Presas Arnis Legacy.
Really?
And it was a tough job.
So what is it called then?
They maintain their combatant, they maintain their modern Arnis. But we have the so-called Presas Arnis Legacy.
Okay.
Worldwide family of modern Arnis. Because combatant actually started with modern Arnis. Yes, it was only in the 90s that Grandmaster Ernesto started to come up with his own distinct organization. He called it IMAFP, International Philippine Martial Arts Federation. Yes, and then it branched and come up with sub-organizations under it, and combatant is one of them. Yes. And he came up with curriculum under the combatant system, and it became a style. Yes, it became a style. And then some people inside combatant say, "Oh, we are combatants. We are not modern Arnis." I don't say wrong. I don't say yes, but combatant is an evolution. It evolved from modern Arnis because it's the Presas family started modern Arnis under the leadership of Grandmaster Remy, yes, and so on. And then slowly, they are working together.
That's great. I haven't heard that.
Yes, no more boundaries. No more boundaries. Yes, and it was a tough job for people like us. And it was part of my mission to put them together under the unification that someday FMA will talk in one language. I dream of someday FMA people will talk in one principle and one nation and one root. It's something like that. And it's a very, very long shot.
I was just going to ask you, do you think that's possible?
The possibility is still low, but it's gaining a step slowly. Probably not during our time, but the day will come. The day will come. And it is our responsibility to start it. Yes. Right. If we don't start it, who will? Yes. FMA Pulse is one.
Which was one of the main reasons why we started this, was to, I mean, we know that the whole unity, it's, like you said, it's a long shot, but, you know, it's a dream that maybe we could just get the ball rolling.
Yes. In our generation, FMA Pulse included, it's a tough job.
Mm.
Yes, and FMA Pulse is one of the ingredients. Yes, one of the catalysts to make it happen. Maybe not in our generation, maybe in the next generation, but it has to start somewhere else.
Right.
And you are one of them. Yes, I mentioned also credit gives to FMA discussion. It's one of them. It's one of the things that one of the organization that must start all of these things towards putting people not 100% unified, but there has to be cooperation with everyone.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Cooperation is the first ingredient. Recognize that there is a problem that has to be solved, and unification, putting people together, is a problem. Yes, at the moment, but this is doable. This is doable. I always believe that one day it will happen, and that is the reason why we organize all these organizations, these federations, and these federations in the future will come together. They will. Allow me to mention right now, we organized a few months ago the World Filipino Martial Arts Confederation, a confederation,
Okay.
Federation of Federations. Yes.
Oh,
It's
okay. Yeah.
Yes. Very interesting. How can you put all these big federations together?
Right.
Yes. Very difficult. All right. It took a while to put them together. But now we have 9, 10 or 11 now. 11. Yes. Directly mentioned, Modern Arnis is inside. Yes. PTK World Federation of Meltortal is inside. Yes. There are so many PTKs, but you have to start somewhere else.
Right.
Somebody must start it. There are so many Modern Arnis. IMAFP is there. Modern Arnis Tapi is there. And we have to start somewhere else. Somebody in Modern Arnis has to start it. Yes. And then Balintawak. Yes. We have, I think, 11 Balintawaks inside the WHFSC. We call it the WHFSC. The World Eskrima Balintawak Arnis Federation. Yes. They are inside the Confederation. They are represented. Lightning Scientific or LSI. Yes, they are inside now. FCS of Regionaldo.
Okay.
Yes, it's inside. It's inside. Kakoy Doce Pares. Yes, Chacanyete is inside. Yes. Abaniko Tres Puntas is inside. Calis Illustrisimo is inside. There are so many Calis Illustrissimos.
Right.
Yes. Yes, but you have to start. Somebody has to start. What's the other one? Balintawak. Combatan is inside. You see? All right. Now look at this. These are big organizations.
Yeah.
Big organizations, international organizations. How can you put them together? Yes. We just have to have one language. One language. I told them, if we don't start it today, who will? Yes. And they agreed.
So, GM Rene, what do you mean by one language? Are you talking like a standardized curriculum, or
no? One language means unify.
Okay.
Yes. We have to start somewhere else. Yes. They said it's a long shot. I said yes. If we don't start it today, who will in our generation? Right. So they agreed, and we talk almost, I think, twice or 3 times a month. And one nice thing inside is it's very collegial. There is no one over the other. No one over the other. No, like we normally say, no ego and so on. No, there's none. It's very, very collegial. The give and take is very alive. Why? Because everyone wants to work together to unify.
That's great.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
How long has this been going on, Chiam?
It was registered already, registered officially under the Philippine Securities and Exchange Commission. I would say 1 year ago. Now, I don't
Oh, wow.
remember the
Okay.
exact date.
That's fantastic. I haven't heard that.
Yes, because we're just starting. We did not make the noise immediately until we get organized inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Slowly, we are organizing. And then
That's
we
great.
started to talk about internal policies. And then slowly we came up with a logo so that we can launch it slowly. We address how to invite people. And how do you invite people? You must have a clear-cut policy on membership. Yes. So there are 3 types of membership inside. We haven't actually announced it yet, but I'll take this opportunity. In short, we have the regular membership. We will define it later on. And then we have the associate membership. Yes. And then we have individual membership. So these are the 3 types there, common 3 types. And it will be expanded later on. And we are still in the stage of defining each. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that it will be concretized. And that's the time we will announce, because membership here in the World FMA Confederation is not exclusive. It's not exclusive. It is open to everybody. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
But there is again some sort of a very simple criteria to come in. Yes, you cannot just go there and say, "Oh, I'm joining."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so you need a sponsor. Yes, you need a sponsor because you have to filter at this moment. This time now.
Right.
You have to be careful when starting. Yes, there has to be a policy on doing that. But again, it is open to everybody. Open. It will the big bang actually of launching this will be in March 2022
Okay.
in the Philippines.
Nice.
Yes.
We gotta
Yes.
cover
Yeah.
that.
If there's anything that we can do to help, just
Yeah.
let us know, Chiam. This is exciting.
Yes, actually we are starting to advertise slowly because we are trying to balance it and look at what is happening now with the pandemic.
Right.
Yes, yes, and it's about a year from now. Yes. And we are very optimistic. We will have the World FMA Festival, the 10th FMA World Festival, yes, in the Philippines. And with it, we will have the International FMA Conference in the Philippines. And then we will have the Bayanihan Cultural Legends of FMA Gathering.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes. So all of this in one roof. And then the PTK World Federation of Mertol Tal will also hold its World Tribal Camp here also in the Philippines. So we're putting them together in one big calendar. So it's a good launching pad
Right.
for the World Filipino Martial Arts Confederation. Yes, and all of us are putting in all our activities in one roof.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and like mine, my members are all coming in. As of last week, there were around about 30 people already. Yes, 30 people coming in from the Abaniko Puntas side. Yes, I was told that Mel Tortal is bringing also his organization come in. So in short, we look at somewhere like about 200, 250, or up to 300 delegates coming in.
Wow.
In March 2022. It's a big event. Yes, it's a big event.
We got to try to make it down there.
March 2022.
Yes, it's big. It's big, and that is one part of unification. Yes, initial part. Unification, fraction, because like we said, FMA in general worldwide is very, very big, very big. Although we are concentrated in a small part of the martial arts community. Yes, but we are now starting to do something to unify it, and slowly using the World FMA Confederation as a takeoff. Some people would probably ask questions: why do we join them? And some people will ask, how do we join? You see? So these are the things that we will address slowly. But we have to show them that, to show everybody that we have to start somewhere else. Somebody must start it. Unless we start it in our generation, who will? Yes, who will? FMA Pulse included. See?
We'll do what we
FMA
can
discussion.
to help.
Yes, FMA discussion included.
Absolutely.
Somebody must start it. And we are doing a great job. Everyone is doing a great job. And I am happy because everybody is starting to recognize that this is a problem if we don't address it today. Yes.
So Jim, are there facilitators?
Come again?
Are there facilitators? Because I could imagine it could get kind of heated and disagreements are happening between.
Yeah. Well, actually,
how's that handled?
Like when we hold our meetings, it's a freewheeling discussion, but we always appoint a moderator and a chairman of the day. Yes. Okay. Chairman of the day, and everything is running smooth. We don't argue so much. Yes. So we just call it discussions. Yes. There are no arguments, no debates. Actually, we don't debate. Yes. So we always just say, let's discuss. We always do that. Okay, let's discuss. So we start to talk about it one by one. And every time you want to talk, you just raise your hand and you will be recognized. We are structured. We are structured. And the discipline inside is, wow, amazing. Yeah, amazing. Because we recognize the authority of everyone.
Right. And there's some big names in there. I mean, those are all big names, big organizations.
Wow. Well, we all know that Balintawak is one of the most elusive styles. Yeah, it's not easy to bring them in. Yes, but you see, we took time to really sit down with them. Yes, personally, I went to Cebu. Yes, I went to Cebu and sit down with them, and talk to them and explain to them what this is all about. And at the end of the day, they agreed. And slowly they're starting to talk among themselves because they are represented. But we have to start right. Yes, you have to start right. Do it right the first time, like we say. So somebody must start it. Slowly, as we go along, we will start to bring in people. Yes, local and international. And by the way, the Abaniko Tres Puntas members all over the world becomes automatic members. Yes. The Filipino combat system of Regionaldo all over the world becomes members instant. Lightning Scientific, Modern Arnis, all their affiliates becomes members. Now, imagine it. Yes. Mel Tortal PTK World Federation approximately has about 60 chapters worldwide. Yes. I have 32 chapters worldwide. Yes. Established chapters. Regionaldo has more than 60 worldwide. Yes. KI. Balintawa. So just imagine how big it is. Really big. Really big. So it's scattered all over the world. And in a few time, we will be doing things in one direction. Everybody will do in one direction. Yes. Because like I said, we have to start somewhere else. Yes. And it's starting now. Starting now.
That's great.
And it's open to everybody.
Yeah. Please keep us in the loop, GM. We would love to
cover that.
Stay updated, yeah.
If we could go to the Philippines and cover it, that would be great.
Yes, yes. Because in a few time we will start to invite people from Europe, outside of our federation, outside of Abaniko Puntas, outside of KI, outside of Balintawak, and so on. Yes, those independent organizations. We'll invite them. Yes.
So GM, who spearheaded this? Who came up with this idea to do this?
Actually, I do not want to get the credit. Yes, but I am one of them. Yes, I'm one of them. Grandmaster Bambit Dulay of Modern Arnis, Tapi Tapi, and IMAP. Mel Tortal. Yes. Pichi Sagin of KI.
Okay.
Yes. And Chairman Pati Caballero, Alema Caballero of LSI. Yeah. We sat down. Yes. Because we are friends. Yes. We always talk. And once in a while we talk, and then the idea. Yes. Then I told them, why don't we start somewhere else? Yes. You know where it started? It started in a small coffee shop. Yes. When we were talking and having coffee. So really, coffee is really a very good catalyst. Yes. When it gave a kick, the ideas pop out. And then we started to say, all right. I said, I agree. The other one said, I agree. And let's go. So we started to talk almost every day about it. Yes. And that was the start. And then to formalize it, we registered it. Yes, we registered it. So it's a legal organization existing under the laws of the Republic of the Philippines at the moment. Yes. But in the future, we will register it probably in other countries. Yes. In other states, in the United States, and so on, so that it will become it has a legal personality. You see, so it has to stand somewhere else. Probably in the future we will talk about it more specially, just for that. And I will need the help of FMA Pulse.
Absolutely.
To promote this. Yes. Please be one of the catalysts, one of the bridges.
Absolutely. That's part of our main mission. Yes. Is yes. The unification of FMA in whatever way you can.
Yes, to bring the message all over the world.
Yeah.
Yes, and FMA Pulse is one of the bridges. Yes, I will request you to please help us.
Oh, great! Yes. Absolutely.
Going back to the topic of Abaniko Tres Puntas, with your background with Abaniko Tres Puntas and Modern Arnis, for someone who doesn't know, how would you explain the differences and similarities between the two arts?
Modern Arnis, actually, the base system of Modern Arnis, it started with classical Arnis, traditional Arnis. Yes, because the Presas family are actually in Espada when they started. Yes, so until today, the classical system is still there inside Modern Arnis. Yes, but it became a hybrid system when Remy Presas started to do research and put together. He infused karate stances, judo takedowns, Aikido traps, and then he brought in, he systematized it, putting up curriculums and so on. See? So modern is basically modern. It's a hybrid system. Yes, it's a hybrid system. Now, classical Arnis Abaniko Tres Puntas, like I said before, is we stayed inside the original version. Yes, there are strikes or movements in Abaniko Tres Puntas that you will see in modern Arnis. Yes, lots of them inside modern Arnis, because those are general strikes, general strokes, common strokes. Abaniko, banda, X strikes, Sunkite, you see them in modern Arnis. Yes, but modern Arnis inside Abaniko Tres Puntas are, shall we say, very, very nil, because they're just, we call them similarities. Yes, but it was, it did not, Abaniko Tres Puntas did not absorb it or bring it inside. They were just similarities because of the universal strikes or universal movements. Yes, so that is the boundary there. And like I said, when I teach Abaniko Tres Puntas, it's just Abaniko Tres Puntas, the original version of Abaniko Tres Puntas. When I teach modern Arnis, just modern Arnis. Yes. So I separate both. It is very difficult, but like I said, the muscle memory and because of the trainings, it's not so hard now. But again, the cooperation is very, very strong, because both I sit in the top management of both. Okay? And Abaniko Tres Puntas as a federation is a sister organization of IMAFP, International Modern Arnis Federation of the Philippines. They are sister organizations.
So why specifically why did you choose Abaniko Tres Puntas as the flag to fly under, as opposed to modern Arnis? Or did I get that right?
Well, actually, Abaniko Tres Puntas is a specialty. Yes, it's a specialty, a classical and traditional system, and modern Arnis also is a specialty on the other side. For me personally, Abaniko Tres Puntas is not over modern Arnis and vice versa. Yes, they are equal. They're equal in me. But again, because in Abaniko Tres Puntas, I am the chief instructor and the head. Yes, so I give extra attention at the moment to Abaniko Tres Puntas, because in modern Arnis, we have a good management there. Yes, in Abaniko Tres Puntas, I'm still in the process of building it. Yes. Going back again, 20 years ago. Yes, 20 years ago, when my teacher said, yeah, you can start teaching open, because it's an exclusive class. Yes, open. I said, I must plan. So I said, I will start a short-term plan. I said, it's not enough. Medium term, 10 years, I said, not enough. Long-term plan, I said 20 years. 20 years ago. So I'm on the 15th year now, 16th year. Yes. And all of what is happening now in Abaniko Tres Puntas is not coincidental. No. It is written. It is within the plan. So year 1, I have to do this. Accomplish this. Year 2, accomplish this. Year 3, accomplish this. And so on. So what is happening in Abaniko Tres Puntas right now is according to the timeline. Is according to the plan. Yes, it's a long-term plan, a 20-year development plan for Abaniko Tres Puntas, domestic, local, to the international. Yes. So today, Abaniko Tres Puntas has its own internal curriculum. Yes, it has its own module. Yes, and it has its own ranking system. It has its own grading system inside. So we follow a manual. Yes, and then we follow a membership policy, and so on. We follow a promotion and how do you call this, expansion policy. So all of these are inside the 20-year development plan of Abaniko Tres Puntas, which I wrote 20 years ago. And today, 16 years after, Abaniko Tres Puntas is in 32 countries.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yes, and it's doing well. And we work in one policy direction, and we wear one color. We are always in sky blue.
Mm.
Yes.
It's your branding.
Yes.
That's your branding.
All of us, we only use one logo.
It's good.
We only use one emblem. Yes. And that emblem and under our manual has it is well explained in the manual, the meaning of the logo, the meaning of the emblem. Yes. And everything is packed inside one manual. We call the manual as the Abaniko Tres Puntas standards of organization. Standards. So everything is there, and inside is a very not so long policy, a very clear policy, the succession policy. Yes, it says there, the succession policy, and it's very clear. Whatever happens to the highest person inside, today I am, there will be no infighting. Yes. We took this from the mistakes of our teachers.
Mm.
Yes. It happened to Masoyama. It happened to Gogen Yamaguchi. Okay? It happened to the organization of Remy Presas, organization of Ernesto Presas, and some other FMA organizations. Yes. And we took it from them. And it was a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
A good lesson. And so we wrote it down. And it's happening. Inside the Abaniko Tres Puntas, and this manual also includes the curriculum, the modules, such that the hierarchy is established. Yes, and because of that, we were able to standardize our lesson. Yes, the Russians can do the drill or can do the lesson with the German and the Swiss and the Austrians, Romanians, Hungarians, and so on.
Jim, is that you going to all these different countries, or do you have students that are helping to spread?
The last 10 years, I'm going around the world.
Just you.
Obviously. So I will stay there for a week, training to the local representatives. Yes, we train every day. Yes, for the next 6-7 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's something like a fast track, but detailed. Yes, detailed according to the curriculum, according to the syllabus. See, so then I move to the other one, and so on. So at the end of the day, all of them talks in the same language.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the same terminologies, the same numberings, the same abecedario, the same interpretation of the abecedario, the same drills, and everything. You see? So, like I said, all of them can understand each other under the Abaniko Tres Puntas system. Yes. So, then after that, I authorize the representative to conduct local seminars or local classes. Yes, under the same curriculum, and so on.
That's
Okay?
great.
So they are all inside the 20-year development plan of Abaniko Tres Puntas. Yes. And going back now to modern Arnis, we also have the same in IMAFP. Yes, we elect democratic. It's a martial art, but democracy is very alive inside International Modern Arnis Federation Philippines. See, we elect our officers every 2 years. Yes, so I was re-elected 2 times now as chair of the board of trustees, and then we have the president, vice president, and so on. Yes, and then we have chapters all over the Philippines, branches all over the Philippines, and they have their local officers. So the same model as in the international. Yes, and we are very lucky because there was a time during the tenure of Master Badi Di Maisip, who is also a very dedicated. He's a lawyer, a very dedicated organization man. So he was able to put things together. As a lawyer, he's a very good legal person, a very good organization man, and very respected inside the modern Arnis IMAP organization. So he put them together. So I took the leadership after that when he passed away. Yeah. So at the moment, modern Arnis is also one of the most structured inside IMAP. I'm talking about IMAP, most structured organization. It has a clear-cut policy on internal management. It has a clear-cut policy on how we go about our finances. Yes. By the way, it is financially very stable. Yes. 30% of the income, the revenue of the IMAP goes to charity.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yes. 2 weeks ago, we released 100,000 pesos to 50,000 each farmers organization who are struggling. Yes, these are farmers organization who are victims of the Taal volcano eruption in this area, and IMAP, with the help of the Deutsche Arnis Verband, or the DAV of Grandmaster Dieter in Germany. We help each other and come up with funds, and then supplement it from the funds of IMAP and so on, and give it to the farmers.
That's great.
And we have
Is this
in
the
IMAP,
Taal volcano in Tagaytay?
Tagaytay, yes,
That
not so far
erupted?
from my place. It erupted a year ago.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Very violent, very violent.
There's houses around there too, right?
Yes, and they have to evacuate. Yes.
Wow.
They have to evacuate. The island now is still used to be very green. Now it's still brown. Yes, after a year. Yes, so it damaged agriculture, and this is where now going back, the modern Arnis is helping the farmers, selected farmers. Yes, we are helping them, and then we take care of our regular instructors. When they get sick, there is medical assistance. Yes, and then there are grandmasters or old practitioners, the old ones, who got sick outside of modern Arnis, outside of IMAP. We send help. Yes, silently we send help. We contact the family. We send cash to help them. Today, the only living among the three brothers of the Presas, Remy is gone, Ernesto is gone. The only surviving brother is Roberto. Yes, he has a monthly pension from the organization. We answer for his medical needs. Yes, every month he receives his money that answers for his medicine maintenance and so on. You see, so these are the things that IMAFP is not only a martial art or Arnis organization. Yes, we also take care of the needs of our members. We are in charity, and the same also with the Abaniko Tres Puntas. I set aside at least 20% of my personal revenue for the maintenance of the organization. Plus, I'm getting donations from people from the international. Yes, I will mention the FMA discussion. They are silently helping. Now it's open. They are helping the youth program because I have more than 150 regular students, and it's really difficult to maintain it, especially now in this time. So they donated equipment. They donated a lot of things. They are raising fund for the rubber mats, for the training of the children, and so on. And it's well accounted, transparency. The money is well accounted, and we have a special fund for that. And I'm getting also donations from other friends, and we are supported by the local government. Yes, the local government here in Cavite is supporting us, and that's a good thing. The parents of the students are helping. Yes. So if your dream, or everybody's dream inside FMA is to come up with an organization in one roof in the future under the so-called cooperation and unity, yes, I must have a vehicle, and Abaniko Tres Puntas and IMAFP Modern Arnis is two of my vehicles. I have to have a base to be credible. Yes, to be credible. See, it's part of my mission that someday, like you, like everybody else inside FMA, will be fruitful. It will happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not next month, not next year. Maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, but we have to start it.
Right.
In our generation, we have to.
I believe you could do it.
Yeah, because I love it. I love what we are doing. I really love it. And fora like FMA, FMA Pulse, FMA discussion, and some other FMA talks. Yeah, I support them. Yes, because they are catalysts. Yes, they are part of the menu, part of the ingredients to make all these things happen. Yes, in God's grace, it will happen.
What is your ultimate goal, GM, for Abaniko Tres Puntas? The 20-year plan.
Well, number one is my dream is to have the Abaniko Tres Puntas, as I promised my teacher. I promised my teacher that it will be one of the leading Filipino martial art organizations in the world. Yes, yes. That it becomes one of the models, probably, for if it is successful, like I said, the 20-year development plan may become as a model for some other beginners. Yes, and the World Filipino Martial Arts Confederation also is not accidental, because I tried to organize a coffee meeting with those organizations I mentioned. Yes, but it's actually intentional. Yes, and it was there. Now we are organized. We started with a cup of coffee, yes, and a slice of a Filipino ensaymada bread.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, we share one big slice, and we were talking, and I sparked the idea, why don't we organize this to create a cooperation and so on? There.
How much convincing did it take you, GM, when you first brought that up, before people started opening up to the idea?
Oh, immediately they said, why not?
there wasn't a lot of
Pushback.
resistance.
negativity. Like, what are you thinking? Are you crazy?
None at all. None at all.
Really?
Yeah, you know, the first word I hear from Mel Tortal of PTK World Federation, you know, this is his first reaction. Yeah, I said, yeah. You see, and then Chairman Patti of El Side, Lema Caballero, the daughter of Master Ben Lema, said, "Oh, I like it. Why don't we start it?" Yeah. And then Grandmaster Bambit Dulay of Modern said, "Well, I have dreamed of it long time ago. Yes, I want it. Let's start it," and so on. So there was no resistance. You see.
So when you started teaching, how were you able to bring it outside of the Philippines?
Like I said, it was planned, and the one who gave me the break 15 years ago or 17 years ago, I think, is the German modernists. Yes, they invited me to their international camp in Germany. So that was my first big crack in the international. Then I started to talk about. I teach Abaniko Tres Puntas there. Yes, I did not teach modern Arnis. It's a modern Arnis camp. I asked permission if I can teach Abaniko Tres Puntas. Of course, they allowed me because Grandmaster Dieter Nittel also took Abaniko Tres Puntas from Grandmaster Estolloso. So no resistance. Okay? And then I told them because this is what I want to do and so on. And then I met Russian guys. Yes. And then they invited me. They said, "Oh, I like the classical system that you teach," and so on. His name is Alexander Bisarkin.
Yeah, yes. From Russian House.
Yes, yes, Russian House. I was one of the organizers of Russian House. Yes, part again of of the plan. Yes. So he invited me to Russia. Yes. So again, I started Abaniko Tres Puntas there, and so on. And we started to organize branches in many parts of Russia. Yes. I had been to most cities more than a Russian was able to go around Russia. Yes. I had been to 12 regions or 12 cities of Russia and putting up chapters there and branches. Okay. And then I was started the noise started to create noise outside. The Romanians started to invited me. UK people invited me, and so on and so on. That's why it's obvious Abaniko Tres Puntas is more established in Europe than in the United States. Yes, than in any other countries. Yes, because I do it according to plan. According to plan. Of course, I have exposures in the US. We have good networks in the US, good connections in the US, but I only have three small branches in the US. Yes, because there is no focus at the moment in the US. The focus is in Europe. We have a good regional organization, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, Scandinavian Europe, yes, Western Europe, and all of these are established. Okay? So slowly. So I started in Europe. And then I started slowly 2 years ago in Latin America. Yes. So now we have a big group in Brazil. Yes. We have a big group in Guatemala. Yes. We started in we have a smaller but starting to grow in Ecuador, in Chile, see, in Mexico. Yes, and a small group in Bogota, in Colombia. You see, all of this. So you see now, we are doing this regional one by one. And then we have now started slowly in the Middle East. Yes, slowly. We have now organizations there. And then in Asia, see, in Asia, we have started slowly. So all of these are actually in one big master plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a master plan. And part of the plan is to regionalize it. Regionalize it. You have to empower and give your trust to your leaders to make it successful. Yes. Nobody can manage it alone. Yes. That's why I started to develop them, become good managers of the organization. Yes. With focus in what they do. So we have now a group in we call it the Abaniko Tres Puntas Europe. See, so they talk among themselves on how they share technicals, administratives, and cooperate with each other. See, when one is hosting a seminar, everybody supports it.
Mm-hmm.
They all come. They all come. One activity here, they support. So we always have a crowd. And that's the reason why every time I do seminars, say when I do seminars in Romania, normally I get about 85 to 90 attendance.
Wow. Nice.
Attendance. See? And because of that. And the same thing now what I'm trying to do now, also in Latin America. They organize them regional. I will do the same in Asia, in East Asia, because I do the same in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. You see, so this is one macro model that I trim it down to become a micro model. See, and in each country, such that after 20 years, it will be a self-winding, self-managing organization.
Right.
Then I can retire.
GM Rene, since the organization is really growing, how do you make sure that what's being taught is, staying in the standardization that you want, that it's supposed to be, that it's not straying from the original?
So like keeping quality control.
Yeah, quality control.
Oh, yes. That is one of the most difficult side. Mm-hmm. Yes. Quality assurance is very difficult. Yes. What I do is I communicate with them regularly. Yes. And then periodicals, I send them videos of new lessons of me. Of me. I am doing some demo instructional videos to add on. Yes. Such that all of them are the same. Mm-hmm. All of them are the same. So by the time I know that you already absorbed it, here comes another one. Okay? What do I mean there? Keep them busy.
GM, you were saying that after they learn the foundations of Abaniko Tres Puntas, that they can kind of add their own expression. Is that correct?
Yes, at a certain level.
So your instructors are allowed to do that?
I allow them already. Yes, but most of them, they stay inside.
They stay inside.
They stay inside. Yes, because some of them are actually coming from another martial art. Mm. Yes, but when you are inside the Abaniko Tres Puntas at this level to this level to this level, there is focus. I always tell them focus. Yes, if you want to get it, if you want to learn more, do not intermix it. Hmm. Yes, do not confuse your muscle memory or your mind. Yes, do not confuse yourself. So focus, and most of them, yes, most of them, because I also have one policy. I allow my students and I refer them to other grandmasters and other styles. Yes, my visitors when they come to the Philippines, I refer them to Balintawak. I refer them to PTK. I refer them
That's
to.
good. So you're open to cross training.
Oh, I tell them. Oh, would you like to? Yeah, he said. Yeah, I would like to learn Balintawak. I call GM Nick Elizar. Manong Nick. Yeah, and so on. I call Manong Tini Makachor of the Campo Estocada. Manong Tini, please take care of my student. He's coming this day and so on. And so on. I don't mind. Some people have asked me, oh, why do you send your students to other styles? I said, why? Oh, they will eat them. No. I said, no. Because I said, if they don't come back, something is wrong. Yes. Something is wrong with me or Abaniko Tres Puntas. Yes. But at the rate, all of them are still here. They go out and cross train and go home and come back. Yes. Why? Because again, those people that those instructors, those GMs that I entrust my students are trusted ones. Yes. I am sure they will not eat my students. They will not. Pardon me for the word. In other words, they won't grab them. Yes. Number two, they won't speak maybe ill or destroy my name before my students because I know these people. Yes. And again, why? Because this is the product of cooperation, friendship, and diplomacy. You see? And it's effective. They trust me, I trust them. Yes. And that's the reason why until today I have a good relationship with them. And I don't have problem with other grandmasters. I don't know with some, with probably with less interaction, but shall I say, I have good network with other organizations. I have no quarrels with them because the first ingredient also that I put in is give them extra respect. Yes. Never bypass them or whatever. Respect them. And then, like I said, my dream is for Abaniko Tres Puntas to be one of the leading organizations for Filipino martial arts in the world. Because I promised my teacher, yes, his legacy will stay. His legacy will stay. And even until today, very simple. I can break my promise because he's gone. Yes, he's gone. Nobody would question me. Yes, I can always make it as Tongson Arnis system.
Right.
Yeah, I can always Tongson style, but that is not true. Yes, because I do not own it. Abaniko Tres Puntas did not originate from Rene Tongson. It did not originate from me. It is owned and founded by the grand old man Mateo D. Estolloso of Antique in Panay Island in the Philippines. Yes. So when people ask me, oh, you're the founder of Abaniko Tres Puntas, I always tell them, no, I am the caretaker. Because I promised my teacher, I will take care of it. Yes. So taking care of it, part of this is the propagation of Abaniko Tres Puntas in its original version. Yes, because while propagating it, how can you take care when you start intermixing it? Yes, it will confuse the students. It will confuse me. Yes, and it will hinder the growth of the organization. So meantime, stay within the foundation. Yes.
Learn the fundamentals.
So that is also part of the developmental stage of how we are going to propagate Abaniko Tres Puntas and guard the structure, the curriculum, so that it will not be abused.
Mhm.
Yes, because I saw one guy who stayed with me for I think 4 years. Yes, he started to make DVDs.
Mm.
Yes.
That's very common, isn't it?
Yeah, I allow it. I
That
don't
happens
mind.
a lot.
Yes, I don't mind. Yeah, because I believe that through that it can also help promote it.
Yeah.
But what is not allowed and it will hurt the organization is he never mentioned. He did not mention the Abaniko Puntas.
That's what I mean. They go off and do their own thing.
Yes. So I talked to him and I said, I allow you to use the drills and it's fine. Yes. But I would like to ask you to put how do you call this?
Give credit.
Yes, to the owner. Never mind me. I told him, never mind me. Just mention or put the photo of the owner of Grandmaster Mateo D. Estolloso in your DVD, in the box or whatever, or inside. Please put credit. Yes, never mind me. And then he did. After a few times, none. So I talked to him. I said, just continue your training. But I said, in short, start packing up. Continue training. If you need some more materials, you want to learn this, feel free to contact me. I will share it to you. Yes. So, in short, again, while it hurt the organization, I did not burn the bridge.
Mm.
Yes, you can still connect, but he is no longer official member of the organization.
So, GM Rene, especially here in the United States, people are always concerned about safety, especially when you're training with weapons. When you started teaching people outside of the Philippines, did you have to change your teaching method because of safety purposes? Because I know old school FMA training was really intense, and sometimes people outside of the Philippines can't handle it. So did you have to change it, or did you keep it pure?
It's same. Like I said, the original version. Yes. So, Abaniko Tres Puntas, by the way, is we do not hit weapon to weapon. We do not block the weapon. Yes. Say stick to stick. No. Blade to blade. No. No. It's always weapon to flesh. Yes. We call it the Sangga-Patama. Sangga means to block. Patama means hit. So it's a block and a hit.
Mm.
A classical system, it doesn't block the weapon. It blocks directly, pa, to the arms or to the whatever, what is reachable in the corto, in the medio, in the largo. Okay? So, of course, when we do that, there has to be control. Yes, make sure that you don't hurt them. And if ever that you want to do some sampling, I ask for, I would whisper, it will hurt a little bit. It's okay, young master. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, do it. I like it. I want to see how it hurts. I said, no, it's only 50%. Yeah, because if I make it 70, it will knock you out.
Yeah.
Something like that. See? Or when I demonstrate, especially the Sunkite, yeah, the Stockada, yeah, it's very dangerous. So I make sure that they have headgear and body armor so that I can show them how strong it is. Yes. So pak, bang. See? So when you get it, poke. He said, "Oh wow." So he removes his headgear and said, I saw stars. See? Because that's Sunkite. When you deliver it, in the right trajectory and the right timing and the right posture. Yes, it's very, very strong.
Yeah.
Yes. In Abaniko Tres Puntas, Sunkite is one of our killing blows. Yes. It is, we always end the hit with the Sunkite. Yes. Always. When we do a black hair pack, yeah, and then when come back, boom, it's always Sunkite. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In when you transform it into a blade, pack.
Oh,
See?
that's
Now,
it's over.
it's over. Abaniko Tres Puntas has only four kinds of strikes. Yes, but when you combine all of them, it creates a lot of combinations. It creates a lot of combinations, and then it has a corto, medio, largo of the 4 strikes. See? And then the 4 strikes, we have the hack or the short strike. We call it taga. Yes, pack. And the other one is slash or the largo, slashing. So again, if you put them inside again, the combination, it creates again another numbers of combinations. Okay? And then the footwork is again another combination, okay, from the footwork, and so on. So if you put them together, it creates a lot of movements, a lot of combinations. But again, I always tell them, Abaniko Tres Puntas stays away with fancies. No fancy. Yes, no fancy. When it blocks pack, hit directly, bang. 1, 2, complete. 1, 2, complete. 1, 2, 3, complete. Done. Okay? Because we always believe in the premise of the longer you fight, it gives them the chance to defeat you.
So you want to end it quick.
Yes, yeah, bang, complete. Yes, it's either you lose immediately or he lose immediately. Yes, so that's what we mean. We don't have too much dancing and no, we don't have it. Yes, when we block 1, 2, 3, bang, straight. And Abaniko Tres Puntas has a lot of controllings. The push and grabs. The push and grabs. Yes. When you hit, we push. When we hit, we grab. Yes, immediately. When we hit, grab, pack, we change our position. Yes, lateral, backwards or forward, or to the left or to the right. Yes, every time. You see? So it's very, very, how do you call it? Elusive. You don't see him in front of you. After that, pack, then he's gone. He's on the left, he's on the right. You see? And pack, the contact is there, the push is there, whatever, or the trap is there. Okay? So this is one interesting things that what is nice with the classical system. Yes, very nice. And the largo movement, and with the Abaniko combining with your Sunkite and a very busy footwork. Wow, yes, just like dancing.
GM, you said that Abaniko Tres Puntas has the 3 ranges, medio, corto, largo. Are those ranges covered equally, or is there one range that is covered more?
That's isolated more.
Yes,
Yeah.
when we do the corto, there are modules in the corto. Yes, and normally corto and medium are always combined, and largo is always distinct. Yes, it's a separate module. Yes, so all of these, the taga and the tabas or hack and the slash are also incorporated there, and it's inside the modules, and it's another set of combinations. See? It's another set of combinations, and the same with the largo. Yes, and then the largo is always associated with the slide of the footwork, and we draw all of the footwork, forward, backward, or going to the left or going to the right. See? So all of these again are inside the combination. So if I say it in words, it becomes so intricate, very complex, very complex. But when we do it in real, in actual exercises, it's not hard because of the basics. Yes, because of the basics. We are very, very particular with our basics, very basic. And then we are in the basics, we are particular with footwork. Yes, it's the foundation. Footwork, and then the right delivery, and then comes the distance, the measuring, and so on. Yes, and then starts with the combinations, and then there's a time when the student is introduced to a number of drills. Yes, and as they go along, the drills expands. And what is inside the drill, these drills are the things that they did in their basics. Yes, the same with the footwork. They are incorporated in the drill inside as they go along, higher and higher and higher. See? And I always tell them, the drill is like your memory card. Yes. You do your techniques there. You start with feet and number rings. You follow the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 as it expands. Yes, there's a feeder. Yes, and then later on, we have the so-called give and take feeding. You feed me, I'll feed you. Yes, I will steal it, you steal it, and so on. And then later on, it goes random. The same strikes, the same movement, but the numbers are broken. See? So you strike 3, you strike 7, and so on. You see, and so on, such that you release them from being inside the book.
Right.
Yes. So randoming. So they become now, they develop now the muscle memory of doing things, doing movements outside the book. Yes. But inside the version. Yes, inside the original version. So that is what we have in Abaniko Tres Puntas. And like I said, we are very particular in our footwork. We are particular in the way we strike in our basics, such that we have a uniform movement. Yes, uniform movement. So when you see somebody doing a muestra, like you call it Carranza or whatever, you will immediately recognize he's an Abaniko Tres Puntas. Yes, yes. Because even when we do our corto or medium or largo abanico, yes, you will see our left hand or our right hand doing. Yes. Said, oh wow, wow, look at that. Yes, because there's the balance. Yes, there is geometry on that. There's geometry. Yes. And I asked the teacher, how did you do this? Yes. I said, Grandmaster, have you heard about geometry? I said, what is that? He said, what is that? You see, the old school. But they have geometry inside the movement. See? And if you do this, pack, and it's strong. If you do this, you add your hips and so on, it becomes stronger. If you do this, it's very, very strong, and so on. By adding this, your hips, your footwork, your shoulder, and so on. I said, Grandmaster, that's physics. Inside anatomy. You see? I said, what is that? You see? So, and there was a time when I was doing this exercise. Yeah, in Japanese karate, they call it, in modern stances, they call it straddle stance. Straddle. Yes. You don't understand what is straddle. You just tell me, just like riding a carabao. Water buffalo. Yeah. your legs are open. See? Then so I did that stance. He said a bigger carabao, bigger. you go lower. You see, because they don't have names. They don't have names for that. No straddle, no right forward stance, no back stance. no tiger, whatever they call it, cat stance. No, they don't have it. They just illustrate it to you. That's the one. This. We do not have a name for a strike coming from here. Yes. You just tell you strike from the mountain. So you look at this, the mountain is here, so I strike from the mountain. From the sun, you strike from the sun, from the mountain. The mountain is here, from the sun. See, old school. Very old school. Until later on. But most of the terminologies are basically Hispanic. Yes. Spanish. Corto, medio, largo. Yes. Abecedario. Yes. Abierto. Yeah. Some people they call it abierta. For us we call it abierto. Yes. And then a mix of Hiligaynon in the dialect, local dialect. Yes. And a mix of Tagalog. Yes. Filipino dialect. And so on.
GM, do you have an empty hand component? I know you said earlier that there's Dumog.
Oh, yeah.
You also have an empty hand?
Oh, I forgot. Abaniko Tres Puntas has 4 subsystems. Abaniko Tres Puntas is a system. That is the system. And it has 4 subsystems. Yes. Sticks combat, Dumog Ipit, blade, and
striking?
Mano.
Mano.
You see? All right. Then there are some questions, or some other people said, it's not true that the FMA is a complete system. I don't know about them. I cannot speak for them. But in Abaniko Tres Puntas, we interpret the sticks exactly in the movement of our hands. Yes, because it's an extension.
Truly an extension of the hands.
Yes. So when our drills in the sticks are almost exactly with the drills of the hands of the mano, empty hands. We do the same with the drills inside the blade. Yes, when you use long blades or short blades, the same movement, the same. In the sticks combat, in the corto, we have grabs and traps. Yes, and we use a lot of elbow, pa, and then we use a lot of elbow to put pressure on your shoulder and so on, and twist and like bone breaks. Yes, and traps. Yes, and when we remove the sticks, it becomes part of the Dumog system. Yes, and you find this. We only have 4 kinds of Dumog numbers. Only 4. Yes, and these are all standing Dumog. We don't go to the ground. Yes, standing Dumog. Yes, we trap and a lot of, yeah, it is bone breaking. Yes, it pin you down and really, oh wow, I very hard to explain. Yes, but there are only 4 kinds of techniques there. Yes, and they are all coming from the sticks combat, emanating from the elbow and putting pressure. Yes, and grabs and traps and so on. Yes, so we don't go beyond. And again, we do not intermix our internal Dumog numbers with that of what they see in BJJ and some other system, because I haven't tried even once how do you call this, jiu-jitsu, not even once. Yes, I've never studied it, so it does not interfere in what we have inside. It will not influence us, and we only use 4 kinds. Now, with the four subsystems, we have modules under it. We have modules in sticks combat, 8 modules. We have blades, long and short blades. We have modules there. We have modules in Dumog Ipit. Dumog, wrestle, Ipit means spin or put weight over it. And Mano. All of this has their own modules. So again, you expand it.
GM, do you cover all the modules at the same time, or do you have to complete one module before you go to the next module to go to the next module?
One after the other. One after the other. That's like I mentioned. You have to follow the ladder. Yes. That's why in Romania.
So it builds on each other?
Yes. You have to, yeah. It starts with the level 1. It's equivalent to, we call it Antas Isa, level 1. Yes. So it's equivalent to like a white belt. Yes. Antas Dalawa, it's equivalent to like a green belt. Yes. And then a third, a yellow belt. And then a fourth, a brown belt, a trainer. And then a black belt, like a Lakan or a black belt. And so on, black belt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So it has modules. So all of this has a certain level. You cannot jump. Yes. That's why a level 1 or a level 2 in Romania can do the same with the level 1 and level 2 of UK. Yes. The same in the Philippines. So they are uniform. Yes. When they talk and they exchange, they understand each other immediately. Yes. Not so much about difficulty in interpretation. They don't have that. And it took a long time, because in the old school and the original version of the grand old man, we have a system, but we do not have a curriculum. Yes. So how do you bring this to the international or teach this to a wider audience? You cannot. You need to put numbers. Yes. You need to systematize this. Yes. And it took me a long time, slowly. So I started with the first basic of zone, put this as strike number 1 or number 1 of this, then number 2, number 3, number 4, and it came out as module 1 of level 1. And then module 2 of level 1, module 3 of level 1, module 4 level 1. And as I go along, slowly, when I was teaching, something pops out. I said, oh wow, this is supposed to be in level 1, module 2. So I insert it inside, and so on, and it expands until later on. Wow, I said, it's now 6 modules, and then 7 modules, right? And so on. It took about 6 or 7 years. 7 years too.
Is that how long it takes like a typical dedicated student?
Yeah.
About 6 or 7 years?
Yeah. Yes, to get to the top. 5 years, 6 years. Yes. Depends on how
the
fast you
dedication.
do it.
Right.
Yes. The focus is also there. So I was able to structure it. Yes. Because when we started to plan it, you must have the curriculum was included. Yes. The teaching method, pedagogy, and everything is inside. It's inside the standards. So such that when you teach it here, it must be the same there. Yes. So there will be no chaos in system. It does not break the system. So I asked the grand old man. I said, Lolo, will you allow me to structure this? He said, go ahead. Because the old school, it's in history. They have a system, they have a style, but they do not have a curriculum. Yes. And that is the problem why they cannot expand and go out of their yard.
Right. It's not organized.
Yes, when I studying when I started with Abaniko to Puntas. Today this is the lesson. Tomorrow it's different.
Yeah.
After a few days, we go back to our lesson 2 weeks ago. Okay? And then so on. So if you do not have focus and if you do not put attention on that with seriousness, you will not grow because every day you get confused.
Yeah, you forget.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're familiar with that training.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
We're very familiar with that.
And you know, patience. A lot of patience was there. And the old school, they will hit you hard, really hard. Yes.
Yeah.
He will tell you, pick up your stick, because there is one day always in a week. Get the sticks, let's go. And then when I see him doing like this, oh my God, says, yeah, here comes the hit. Pat, pat, pat. I said, oh, just continue. And then later on, they don't have control. Yeah, he will just tell you to put the towel, yeah, in the head. So you don't get that's the headgear.
Jeez.
Then he will,
It's not much of a headgear.
yeah. Then he will tell you, all right, let's go. Be careful. Yeah, be careful. That's it. Yeah. Sabi niya, ingat ka.
Mhm.
So he will start to hit you and then you counter, Sangga-Patama. Yeah. So and there was a time sometimes that when I start to push, I can see his sticks. What? I can see it here. Boom. So you withdraw and so on. Then he will laugh. See? He will ask you, you did not see it? I said, I saw it. Yeah. You saw it. So your eyes is low. He said, your eyes is low. Then
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, your eyes is low. He said. And that's it.
Yeah.
Years and years. Yes. And then that is where he told me, pain is in the mind. Pain is in the mind. If you can start to ignore pain, there is an exercise for that. Yes. If you can start ignoring the pain, you won't feel it. Yes. Pain will start pop, and then it disappears. Yes, disappears. Because he said it's in the mind. It's controlled by your mind, by your brain. Yes. The given stimuli is there, but it is overruled and overcome by the power of your mind. It took me so many pains first before I was able to at least lessen the impact of the pain. I still feel it. Because you cannot perfect it. But the good thing there is I am able to manage the pain. So that is how what we have in Abaniko Tres Puntas. And all of this are coming from the basics. Yes, the basics. We have a very long basic. Yes. Even until today, when we start the class, every class, there is always a portion that you have to do this, the abecedario. Yes. You do some stretching and they prepare you for the lesson of the day. Yes. And then when we taper down before the ending of the session, you go to abecedario again. Yes. So basic is there. Yes, basic is there.
Do you have a lot of sparring, GM?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Most of the sparring is we start first with the padded slowly, so that they can have a feel, and then it's with armor first. With armor, yes, because accident happens. Yes, so then after that you remove the armor, stay with the headgear. Yes, stay with the headgear, and then hit a little bit harder and contact the body. Yes, and then the head. Yes, you can hit the head stronger.
Yeah.
And then later on, we remove the pads, the padded sticks. Yes, so it's just the yantok. Yes, just the
Just
stick,
the stick and helmet
helmet. Yes, and body vest.
or body armor too.
Yes, you hit hard. Now you hit hard. Yes, and then later on, you vest. Yes, you hit 50% of the power, so he will feel it. Yes, and so on. So that's what we do. Yes, because they have to feel the hit. Yes, they have to feel the hit.
Right.
And the notion of how do you call this? False techniques. They so-called something like that. Yes. Will it apply? Something like that. You teach something to the student that will kill them outside. Something like when they get encounters outside. You see? So these are false techniques. We call them. You know, we are teaching them wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to learn this gradually. Yes. Start with the armor with padded sticks, and then remove these, and so on, and then until later on the sticks, and then later on the punch. Yes. Yes. You remove the sticks, and then they start to hit you with the black of the back face hitting here. There's pain. Pack, they grab you and hit you with the elbow here, here, and here, and then later on here, and then slowly it goes up in the head, because Abaniko Tres Puntas always targets the head. Always the head. This portion here and up. Always. Because when you want to stop, when you stop your aggressor, stop the engine. Yes. Break his engine. Yes. The head. It's always the head. So boxing, you see, knock him out. It's always in the head. Yes. We do damages here because of the Sunkite. Yes. When we do Sunkite, we always go to the floating ribs. Yes. To the last rib down here. Yes. And the other one is in the collar here. When we do we call it the strike number 5 or hit number 5 of the Sunkite, because in Sunkite we only have 5 strikes. Yes. And when you hit here, coming down like this, he will go down. If you hit going up like this in the lower rib, he goes up. You see? It goes up because of the power. The power. Sunkite, some people call it istokada, istoke. Yes. Stabs. Yeah. So these are the intricacies inside of Abaniko Tres Puntas. And I think we are doing well, because a lot of people, when they start, like in the seminar, first time to join the seminar, the first immersion, they come back. Yes, they come back and they ask if they can continue. So probably they like it. Yes, because the number one thing there, the first thing that they get the impression of, it's very simple. Simple. It's a 1, 2, 3 hit, a 1, 2 hit, and that's it. Yes, no fancy. It's a direct hit, direct strikes, and very practical. Yes, no too much dancing.
Yeah.
Yes, too much dancing. So far, the reason why it's growing, because we follow a certain direction. Yes, and then we propagate it without fancy. Yes, and we do not tell people that we guarantee you survive in the streets. But I always tell them, we always tell them, it will help you survive the street. Yes,
you have a better chance.
Yes, higher chances. Okay? And the good thing there is, because we interpret the sticks to the Mano. Yes, we interpret the sticks to short blade, to the long blade, and also there is an interpretation to the Dumog Ipit. Yes, because you find it in the corto exercises and the corto drills and so on. You find it the grabs, the push, the traps, and the controlling. Ipit means pin or putting weight over, and that's it. That's why we call it Dumog Ipit. Yes, wrestle and put weight over. Yes, so that is how it's being interpreted from the sticks. It all starts with the sticks. Filipino martial arts or Arnis or baston is very unique. Other martial arts, they start with empty hands.
Right.
Yes, and they go to the weapons. The Filipino martial arts is very unique, reverse. It starts with the weapon and it goes down to the empty hands. Yes. So that's why we call the Filipino martial arts very unique. Yes, and it interprets a lot of from the sticks. It interprets a lot of other movements, other weapons. Yes. If you do, I don't know about other system. If you do the corto in Abaniko Tres Puntas, you can do the dulo-dulo. You can do the yuara. You can do the short knife, reverse pakal, whatever it is. You can do it because we have drills on that. We have lessons for the corto, reverse grip of the blades or reverse grip, or the always leave at least 2 inches, 5 centimeters here. Yes, for the corto. Yeah, ponyo. See, and then we do the stabs here because of the long stick or the short stick or the short blade. You see, so all of this you learn this inside the module of Abaniko Tres Puntas.
In terms of your legacy, what do you want to leave behind, and what do you expect from your students going forward when you're no longer around?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm trying to build a legacy, but it will build itself. Yes, it will build itself. The day will come that I will retire, or probably I'm gone after a few years, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, maybe. All right. The discipline that you live and the modeling that you leave your students is, I expect it to be the same. That it will carry them towards when I'm already gone. In short, today, maintain the discipline. Yes, maintain the track, such that in the future, when I'm gone, I would like to leave a legacy for the next generation to learn also Abaniko Tres Puntas. So it will continue. It will continue. See, it will be passed on from one generation probably to another. One instructor to the student becomes an instructor, he passes it on to his students, and so on, downstream to the next to the offsprings. So in short, I want to institutionalize Abaniko Tres Puntas. Yes, as one of the top and leading system or style in the world. Yes, and I want to leave that foundation. I want to leave that foundation such that probably it will become a legacy of Grandmaster Mateo D, Estolloso, which I only try to pass on. Yes, it's his legacy, not mine. Yes, it's my teacher's legacy, because I don't own Abaniko Tres Puntas. It is the system and founded by Grandmaster Mateo D, Estolloso, and according to him, he developed it sometime in the 1930s. Yes, slowly, he said, because he was the reason why probably he has lots of Spanish terminologies, because he was born sometime in the 1902. Yes, and his teachers are Spanish speaking, and probably influenced by the Spanish fighting system. Okay? And that's why it was passed on to our generation now. And later on, I'm passing it on worldwide to the next generation and so on. Downstream, I mean, generation to generation. That's why I want to establish this and institutionalize this into a system. Yes. So that when you pass it on, it will be the same. 20 years after the other, 20 years after the other, and so on. It's the same. Yes. And I pray that they will not alter it in the generations to come. Yes. Because that's the only way. But if you have a strong foundation, it is closest it will happen. Yes. That will be maintained. It will be sustained. Yes.
Well, GM Rene, it was an honor having you. Thank you for joining us. And we'll
Yes,
do this again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po.
Yes. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay ang Pilipino.
Mabuhay ang Pilipino.
Mabuhay ang FMA.